Right, this is the advantages essay, the 50 mistakes. So we're going to go through every single mistake and divide them into the 12 different kinds of mistakes, the 12 most common different kinds of mistakes. So let's start with the first paragraph. In various nations around the world, many people advocate to take. So the mistake here is the word pattern. All right, so here you're using the verb advocate, and one of the patterns for, if you go back to the let's go back to the top 12 vocabulary and grammar mistakes worksheet. So we go to this worksheet, we see that here I write 3 very common noun verb adjective patterns, right? Some nouns, some verbs, some adjectives can be followed by these 3 patterns. Again, it really depends on the word itself. So, and I give you examples here. I explain this to you. So, one very common pattern is that plus clause. One very common, the second common pattern is to plus base verb. The third is preposition. So, what this mistake for this is that you've used a verb and you're using the to plus base verb. Okay, you're using this pattern, okay, which is a very common pattern. A lot of words use this kind of patterns. A lot of verbs. If you use the verb like, you can say I like to play. To plus play being the base verb. And yeah, there are many other verbs that use that pattern, but does this verb use this pattern? And that is the question here. All right, so let's go to the dictionary, because the only way to find out is the dictionary if you're not sure. Okay, so we go to Macmillan Dictionary, and this is the first dictionary I go to. And as I've mentioned, this is not the most comprehensive dictionary, but I like this dictionary and it's easy to use, and the common patterns and collocations and ways to use the word is always in bold, whereas the other dictionaries I've mentioned, Cambridge, Oxford, Longman, they're good. They're probably a bit more comprehensive. At least Longman is a bit more comprehensive than Macmillan, but it's not as user-friendly. It's not as easy to use. So let's just go to advocate first in Macmillan. So you see the way you use it here is a transitive verb, and after advocate would be, at least the way it's used here, would be a noun. Okay, public transport is a noun. Improved here is used as an adjective, so you use a noun phrase here. Okay, so that's one way of using it, of course. And are there other ways of using it? Okay, so if we go to Longman, remember advocate can be a noun and a verb, so make sure you are looking at the verb entry. Doesn't really say much. Again, advocate something, right? A noun. Okay, but here we are looking at advocate and then another verb. So is it possible to have another verb directly after advocate? Right, so far is they've used a noun. They've used a noun here. Let's go to Oxford. Okay, the verb here, advocate, again, this is a noun. Okay, in more examples they give you advocate colonization, the noun. Advocate a life, it's a noun. Advocate Grand Coalition, a noun. Okay, now, and then we can go to Cambridge Dictionary. Okay, here is actually where they show you a pattern that the other 3 dictionaries do not. All right, now why does Cambridge Dictionary show you this pattern whereas the others do not? Well, basically, I mean, every dictionary has their own reasons why they're including this pattern or not. Okay, it's basically, if you just find it in one of the dictionaries, means it's probably not so common that every dictionary has got it in their entry. So anyway, Cambridge Dictionary has advocate plus ing verb. She advocates taking. Now, so it is possible to put a verb after the verb advocate. All right, and so this is the mistake. Here, the person used advocate plus to plus base verb. Okay, advocate plus to plus base verb, the verb plus 2 plus base verb, because that's a very common pattern, but it is not used this way. And as we went through all the dictionaries, we saw that the pattern is actually it's actually not mentioned here, okay? But I put it in other common patterns: verb plus verb ing. Just like enjoy doing, you don't say enjoy to do. For the verb enjoy, you don't say enjoy to do, you say enjoy doing. Okay, that's the pattern. And in the same way, advocate, you don't say advocate to do something, you say advocate verb ing, doing something. So that is the first mistake. Okay, advocate, do taking. Okay, the verb ing, taking. All right, next, so this will come under the mistake of word patterns. Next, before, to begin, I would probably put this under the mistake of word class, because if you know before, firstly before, the word before is both a conjunction and a preposition and even an adverb. But if it's used as a conjunction, then of course it links two clauses together. So after before, you have a subject and a verb. And this is not the way it's being used. If it's used as a preposition, as I mentioned here, as a preposition, what comes after a preposition? There would be a noun or verb ing. Okay, so that's how you use prepositions. After a preposition, there needs to be a noun or verb ing. So what we have here is we don't have the verb ing, we have to begin, which is actually wrong. After preposition, which before is being used as a preposition here, you need a noun or verb ing. So actually the answer is beginning. Okay, once tertiary education, while this offer, now this is the very simply the subject verb agreement. This is a it offers. All right, while this offers a few advantages, there are also some disadvantages which are worth. Now this is another word pattern mistake. Worth here is an adjective after the be verb. So let's go to worth. What is the pattern? Do you say it is worth to do something? This is worth to do something. Okay, let's make sure you use it as an adjective here. Okay, it's worth verb ing. All right, so it's worth doing, verb ing. So the pattern here is adjective plus the verb in the ing form. Okay, so worth considering. All right, okay, let's go to the second paragraph. There are two main benefits. Okay, S for more than one or plural, or generalization. Okay, so you have the plural version of the countable noun if you're talking about more than one, and when you talk about two, of course, it's more than one. To students traveling or working before their university education. Education is uncountable, so you do not have the S, right? That goes under the mistake of nouns. You have to understand whether it's countable or uncountable. If it's uncountable, you cannot use the plural version, the S version. Firstly, through traveling, they will able. Okay, a kind of a common mistake by some students. Will, remember we talked about one mistake regarding the modal verbs. So will always comes with, I mentioned two things for modal verbs. Firstly, will, let's go to modal. Have we gone past? Okay, modal verbs. I always mention two things. Firstly, as the modal verb is a helping verb because it's actually a modal auxiliary verb, and auxiliary means helping. It helps another verb. It's not the only verb there. It actually helps another verb. There will be a main verb. The main verb gives the main meaning. The modal verb, the modal auxiliary verb, the helping verb just modifies a bit of the meaning. Okay, so the first thing I say here is that you need another verb. Okay, it cannot come alone. All right. Secondly, the other verb is always going to be in base form. No ing, no ed, no s, no to plus base, just base alone. All right. So you see, you don't have another verb in the first place because able is not a verb, able is an adjective. So actually normally adjectives will have the be verb before. So actually the verb that's needed here is will be able. Okay. When students, now this is a tense mistake. When students go, you're talking about firstly, as I mentioned in essay for writing task 2, you will need most of the tenses are going to be in present simple tense because it's things that happen regularly. Okay, it's a fact. So you're not talking about a past when students went overseas in the past. If you're talking about something that does not occur anymore, that is already over, then you would use the past simple tense. But here, this still regularly goes on when students go overseas. Okay, another mistake here of pretty much the same kind, which is that your will expose here. You could look at it as an adjective, or you could look at it as a passive. Okay, whatever it is, you will need a be verb. So you can't say will expose, but will be exposed. All right. At here, the mistake is your collocation. You don't say expose at. You say exposed. Okay, exposed. Okay. Remember, as I said, exposed could be looked upon as an adjective or a passive here. So let's just go to the verb itself. Okay, the way it's used is expose someone or something to something. So when you use it in a passive form, for example, you may say the television exposes, present simple, because this is something that happens regularly, children to violence. Okay, so expose someone to something. Okay, so this is an active. When you put it in passive, children, okay, the receiver of the action goes here in front, and then you have a be plus a past participle. Are exposed is the past participle to violence. Okay, you still, whatever you're using here, you're still using the preposition to. You don't use the preposition at. Right? So to different cultures, and okay, so cultures, many, countable, general, more than one. Okay, generalization, more than, so same thing, customs, not just one custom, but customs in general. Okay, more than one custom. As a result, they will receive a bigger understanding. Here is where you have 3, if you remember, this, when I touched upon collocations, a lot of these, the corrections for these involved the correct verb, the correct adjective, and the correct preposition. Like, you don't say gives high pressure to, you say puts enormous pressure on. So verb, the wrong adjective, the wrong preposition. In the same way, you don't say receive, you could say gain. You don't say bigger, you could write deeper, gain a deeper understanding. Okay, so your verb is gain, your adjective is deeper, and you don't say in, you say of. Right? Understanding of, that's the preposition you use. Right? If you're not sure, again, let's go to what dictionary do you need to go to. For collocations, you're going to Ausdic, understanding, and what verb you can use all these verbs. Gain, what kind of adjective, deeper, the deeper is a comparative adjective, and what preposition, of. Right? The word, in addition, students in general, not just one student. Okay, who work will, another modal mistake, will never. The second thing I mention always about modals is that it will come with another verb. That the main verb is always going to be in base form, not ing, not ed, not s, not to plus base, just base. Okay, so no ing. Learn to appreciate the value. Another collocation mistake, value of, not value in, value of something, prepositional mistake. Realize the hard work is not countable, therefore you would use you can't use works. That is involved, right? In you don't increase money, earning money. Another collocation mistake, your verb is wrong. Consequently, they would think more before purchasing anything they desire, subject verb agreement, no s, unless it's a he, she, or it, and may become less. Word class mistake, impulsive. Impulsion is a noun. You become less. Adjective. Impulsive is the adjective. In their spelling again, this noun is not countable, so you can't put spellings. On the other hand, various drawbacks may be noted. Okay, this is in the passive. In the first place, traveling could cause people feel. This is and if you have gone through my REAR and the power, the result verbs, you would see the pattern of cause. Cause as a verb. Okay, this is not the noun version but the verb. The pattern for cause is cause someone to do. So here it will be cause people to. Okay, you're missing the to there. Many students have subject verb agreement, have not been apart. Collocation mistake. Apart, do you say apart with? No, apart from. Their family and friends before. This is the punctuation mistake when you because so is a conjunction, so you don't put a full stop and so. You don't start your sentences with so and but. Okay, not in IELTS. So should be no full stop. So it's a conjunction, so it links this clause with, and then you have another conjunction which, okay, this is a bit complicated because you have two conjunctions here. So this one links with the next one, and then this one is another conjunction. That's why you have actually has two conjunctions and three clauses in all. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so when they, again, no past simple tense, just when they travel, because this still happens, present simple, they may, modal verb, no to plus base verb, just base verb, they may miss these people in the extreme. Circumstances are countable, and you're talking generally. Okay, circumstances. The students, they may even become depressing. Okay, firstly, it would be in extreme circumstances, students. Okay, I guess you could put the students here. All right. Very often, whether you put the or you don't use the, sometimes both work. But here, I guess the mistake I wanted to really get at was it should be students, not the students. And this is sentence structure, double subject. Take this away. In extreme circumstances, students may even become the difference between an ing and an ed adjective. In word class, what is the difference between ing and ed? And ing adjectives actually causes the feeling, whereas the ed is what a person feels. So this is talking about what a person feels, right? Feel. Ed, students may even become depressed. Additionally, students work. It should be students who work. And this has kind of to do with relative clause and relative pronouns, which I would say comes under the 12th mistake word structure. Okay, students who work, because you can't have a double noun, double verb, right? Under sentence structure you have a double word. Just now was students work, then another verb. So you have two verbs. Okay, so it should be students who work. You use the relative pronoun to make a relative clause. Those who work, you're describing those students who work. So this is your subject. May not want to return to their studies. The reason for this is that they may enjoy. Okay, we went through enjoy just now. What is the word pattern? And not enjoy to do something, but enjoy. Verb ing. Okay, enjoy earning money and be. The reason is that they may enjoy and becoming. They may enjoy earning money, enjoy becoming financially. Okay. This is an adjective, so you are using the adverb, which is ly, to describe the adjective independent. Therefore, is an adverb. You do not use it like a clause. You do not link two clauses together. You put a full stop. Therefore, okay. As opposed to this, just now you put a full stop and capital S. It's not possible because this is a conjunction, whereas this is a adverb. Okay, this mistake is mentioned here. In here, right? Punctuation conjunctions versus adverbs. Therefore, the whole future could be. Again, this is a passive. Could be affected. Be plus past participle. S is a conjunction, so in the same way you don't put full stop so and you start the sentence with so, you don't well, at least for here, because you're linking this clause with this, okay, onwards. So it should be S, okay, here without the full stop there, as these days it is very important for everyone to graduate with. You're going to use a degree, because it's singular. You don't just say degree. The singular and countable. In order to be, be after that would there should be an adjective. Competitively is an adverb. So competitive in the job market. All right. So in order to be competitive, the adjective version. In conclusion, if student, now you have a if here, so this is a conjunction which links two clauses together, and you don't have a full stop. Okay, you don't put if students do something full stop. No, students take a gap year, small letter, they could make a collocation mistake. You do not make invaluable experience. You gain invaluable experience. So it's a verb collocation mistake. And learn, you don't learn becoming. Learn is a verb. So just like enjoy, after this verb enjoy, if you want to put another verb, is ing, but this is not the same. After learn, if you're not sure, after learn, what kind of pattern comes after learn? Either learn to do. Okay, well, actually it's just learn to do. So you don't learn. Yeah, you don't learn verb ing. You learn to the to plus base verb. Okay, learn to become more. Become is you're going to become something, an adjective. Independence is a noun. All right, so you put the adjective independent in relation to money. However, it's a not a conjunction, it's an adverb, so it should be full stop and then capital however. Okay, it's not a conjunction. They may also become homesick and end up. Let's see whether you have this here. End up. Okay, you see that? End up doing. So what comes after this? Verb ing. End up not 2 plus base verb. End up not continuing their studies. Therefore, it is necessary to, you don't check the benefits, you weigh the benefits, which is a very common, sometimes you see it in the IELTS writing task 2 essay question. Weigh the benefits, you weigh benefits, okay? Do the benefits outweigh? Outweighs, that verb weigh is also goes, even though outweigh and weigh are not the same words, but this is one collocation. You weigh the benefits. I think you could probably find it here. Let's see whether the verb weigh, and let's see whether you have weigh. You don't have weigh. Drawback, let's see whether you have weigh. Well, but that is just it is a common. If you're not sure, like if the dictionary doesn't say anything, then weigh the benefits. See if you put it in, quotes, and see whether there are people using it. See, weigh. So this is quite common. Of course, you have to look at the website. What kind of website shows this exact phrase together? If it's a forum that with students writing their essays, getting people to mark the essays, of course, that's really bad writing. But you see most of these websites, US News, this could be, I don't know, Fast Company is a good reputable website. So there are a lot of reputable websites that use this phrase, and so you can kind of be sure that even though Austic is not going to show every single thing. You can, if you find these phrases in quotes and being used by good websites, most likely it's okay. All right, it's not always the case, but most likely it's so. It is necessary to weigh the benefits. So the collocation mistake, don't check, you weigh something against something carefully before getting to it. Another collocation mistake, you don't get to a decision before coming. Okay, before, remember we used the word before right at the beginning, and yep, this is a preposition used as a preposition. So after preposition is a noun or verb ing. So there's nothing wrong with just now getting in the verb ing. There's nothing wrong with the form of the verb ing. It's actually the collocation is that you are using the wrong verb, okay, before coming to a decision as to whether students should go on such an adventure. Okay, so that's it. All right, these are the 50 mistakes, and they relate to all the top 12 mistakes that I've gone through. So yeah, as you can see, just such a short writing, most students would not have guessed how many mistakes there were if I gave them just this like that, right? But now you know that actually, if you really know your grammar, you know that there are many mistakes. Even though it sounds okay, but actually small little mistakes here and there, every examiner will be able to